no, third. Yeah, the third journal I've ever made. I really like doing them, and I probably will end up doing a couple more for a while before I make another mini album. Maybe, I don't know, I change my mind all the time. But anyway, so this journal measures 6 by 9, I believe. Yeah, 6 by 9, and the spine is 2 inches. I used an assortment of papers. I used one piece of Graphic 45, the Lady's Diary, for the cover. These appliques, I believe I got from Miss Garden Grove on Etsy. I got to place an order for more. In fact, they're in my cart because I love them. These ones I did put a little distress ink on, though, because this journal has more of the distressed look. I used Ephemera's Garden, did a tutorial on how to bind with this string binding my signatures, and that's what I used for that. I really like that. You can remove the pages if you want. You can add pages if you want. And of course I used chipboard. I don't have glue seeping out of anything. There's no glue strings. Yeah, it's even here, there's no glue. But anyways, I did a ribbon, a tie band closure, elastic band closure with Tim Holtz metals that screw in, which I really love those, and then it stretches so this will have room to grow. I hand coffee dyed all the papers with regular printer paper to give them a very crisp, and baked them, and it gave it a very distressed look. So, and here's the back. I left it plain. I didn't want to get too chunky embellished on it because you're going to write in this. Oh, here's some, I just put a lace bow covering my knots, and then I attached some beads with some findings, metal findings on the strings, and those are the things. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures with I think 6 pages in each. So there's a lot of pages of journaling. Yeah, so that's just a quick rundown. I'll go through the album or the journal with you. I used some lemon craft paper in this. I used some scraps of my soiree from Bo Bunny. I used a couple sheets, and just maybe one sheet, but cut it up, of Graphic 45. I used different embellishments. I made my own tags. I did rubber stamping, and as I said, the papers they're fragile because they're baked and coffee dyed, and it gives it that look, and you can write and journal in this. Okay, so let me take you through this front cover. I just left plain, and each of my signatures have designer paper, like covering them in a folder with some pockets and stuff. This was just a piece of the cover that I didn't use. It was attached, and I ripped, you could see where it actually went together, and I tore it and distressed my edges and thought it was just a beautiful tag, like that you could write on or whatever, with a piece of lace that just holds it in there, and then a pocket on the inside of this signature with just journal spots from paper collect. This is Bo Bunny. My pockets I tore because I wanted it to have a vintage, rough, tattered, distressed look. Old, stained up, beautiful diary for a lady to journal in. And I did random stamping with a lot of my stamps that I have, so I was able to use those. The corners have the Tim Holtz corner metal brackets on them. So yeah. So I'll just do a basic flip. I won't go through every page. It'll be way long. Some pages I left more blank. This is all coffee dyed. I did do more spritz, and it's really really vintagey and distressed looking. It's really cool. And I just took a bunch of my stamps and randomly stamped. I took just torn pieces of paper, kind of the washi tape look, I guess, or repaired. Now some of the pages might even have rips or bends, and yeah, when you wet the paper and dry it and bake it, but that's the look. Okay? That is the look. So if you don't like that, then this isn't for you. But all this cool random stamping, let me zoom in a little bit. So this looks awesome, in my opinion. This I did a envelope and I tucked little homemade tags with random stamping. And here I did the same thing. I tore the paper so it looks like it's torn. In fact, it might have came off of there, I don't know. I tore the pockets. And then I just made some blank mailing tags. And I put various trims, scrap pieces that I had. A great way to use your scraps and still create a project. I did some colored stamping, but not too much. Most of it's in the distressed. This looks really cool because I actually sprayed so it looks, you could see where it looks like it was aged, where it was sitting in there really old. And it made the pattern. So these are just some tags. And that's just a piece of ripped up paper that is, you know, making it a little tuck spot. A flower with a piece of twine. And then that's the end of that signature. And then this is more cardstock with a pocket that I left blank so you could tuck your own notes or something in there, or cards or photos. And then on this side I left, you could either photo mat or journal. Let me zoom out, I'm not getting the whole. There we go. And then here's just a piece of lace that you can put a little note or something in, or photos that you want, a card if you received a card that you want to keepsake. And again on the other side, but I included photo. This was a postcard stamp that I had from Inkadinkadoo, and I just made it on various ones on designer paper. Another torn tuck spot with some random stamping, and everything's coffee dyed. Now see, this page is, you know, because it was wet and it's fragile, but you could still write on it. I love the look that it gives. This one's got a little tear, which actually the paper goes over, so it looks like it was repaired, and I really like the look. Reminds me of very old. This is a little tuck spot here where you can tuck something. And any stamping that I did, you can clearly, you know, it's like stationery. You can write over it. And this is just regular copy paper that I coffee dyed and baked. It's, you know, from Walmart, the printer paper that you use in your printer. And when you bake it, it gives it that crisp, dry, I think. Here's some more tuck spots, and these are just little burlap tags that I had, and I put some paper over to make it look like it was taped or fixed. More pockets. These are on the paper. More little tuck spots. Oh, I like that. That looks really cool. Looks like you spilled your coffee on it. This is a sticker. This moment, it came from one of the collections I was working with. And then another one of those envelopes. And I tore paper just to give it a decorative look. And then here's a tag that I made. Very good quality. Another pocket. Torn pocket. More tags. Another pocket that I used, and more of that postcard stamp on designer paper. Plain one. I did some trim there. And then here's a little envelope with some more little cutouts from one of the collections. You could either journal or put a little note or even a tiny little picture. And then that envelope is just glued on there. There we go. Wood embellishments, or wood chip pieces from scrap collections that I'm done working with. Wow, that really came out crazy. Looks so good. It looks very old and vintagey. And some pages I left plain. More just scrap paper randomly torn and glued in. I did the postcard stamp on that page. Another sticker that I just threw in. A wood embellishment wood chip piece with another postcard that slides under there. More fringe. This this piece of paper is just paper, but it's a decorative piece that I left that you could tuck. There's a little sticker there. Appliques that I hand dyed myself and put trim on. But like I said, this is fragile, and you could actually tuck a picture. I left the corner open so you could tuck a favorite photo or something in there. Like that. This was a piece from the Bo Bunny ephemera collection, this door, and I loved it. I distressed it all up. And I distressed all the edges too with my Tim Holtz favorite vintage photo. Mine's well used. And then this is just a tuck spot. And it slides right in that door. I love it. Another jumbo tag that I made and distressed up with some more of the burlap, which looks cool because I sprayed it so it looks like, you know, it aged. There's two sides to that. This is Recollections cardstock. I'm touching it, I'm moving it. There's a pocket with a piece of paper I cut out of the key. Memories. Another little tuck spot that you could tuck. I didn't fill every tuck spot because you might have cards and little gift tags that you want to save and journal about and tuck it in yourself. Where am I? Okay. Family memories, that says. Here was just a random thing that I had. I don't know, I picked up at Michael's, and you could, it's like a manila envelope with that, and I distressed it and tucked it in there. You can remove these with this kind of binding because it's only in the string. So see how easy you can take your pages in and out if you decide something. And you could tuck some photos in here too and hold it like a little manila folder. That's the back of it. It was really cool. Things I love, it says. Love of my life. Just inked off images of stamps. That looked cool. So yeah, just a really nice journal. I wish that I journaled and wrote in a diary, and I've tried. I'm not good with writing my thoughts down, and I hate my handwriting, so therefore I wouldn't use a journal. I wish I did have that talent to be able to write, because writing is a creative trait, and I just don't have it. I write something, I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound good, and I always want to change it. But these are not pockets, they're just random like paper patches, not covering anything up, just for decorative purposes. This is actually, this was the cover of one of the paper collections that I used, and I thought it looked good. I cut it off. House of Roses, I think, was the paper. And I thought it was just pretty, and then I made this tag. Glued some trim on there. Put in a pocket. This says beautiful. And then this is the very back. I use very good chipboard. There's no messiness in this book. And then some tags. So it was a great way, it's a great way to utilize your scraps that you're left with after creating a mini album. I don't like to see anything go to waste, and sometimes there's not enough to create, and I really had fun mixing all these collections together. I thought it just was really cool. So I don't know what else I can show you on here. Here's the top. These pages do, because they're on just a string, nothing sewed in, they're just flipped underneath. And if you go to Ephemera Gardens channel, you will see the tutorial on how to do that. She makes wonderful journals. Beautiful work she does. And then there's just the back. I distressed this all. And then my cover again. Alright, I hope you like that. I will have this listed in my Etsy shop. Along with some, I don't know if I'll put a couple still photos, but I won't do every page in here. But I'll put a couple still photos of the cover and everything at the end of this video. And then please go ahead and check. Sorry about that, my camera shut off. I will have a link in the description box below with my email if you have any questions, and to this item that will be listed in my Etsy shop. Alright everybody, have a happy, crafty day. Take care and bye-bye.